Welcome back. India Energy Week is underway in New Delhi with over 120 nations participating in the four-day event. My colleague Manisha Gupta caught up with Magnus Nysveen of Rystad Energy and started by asking about his outlook on crude prices in the current uncertain environment.
It's very clear that there is an oversupply in the market, so OPEC really has to take action, and they have done that very much, and they decided also to continue cutting at least until the second quarter of this year. And now with some pressure from the Trump government to ease up the oil market to reduce the pump prices in US, I think we can expect actually OPEC to provide some new oil from the second quarter. Partly based on Trump's pressure, but also partly based on that the oil price is relatively high because of geopolitical risks.
With the kind of opening up that we are seeing in the US markets after the President Trump has come in, do you see much more increase in production from there? Because we already are around 13 million barrels per day, which is near record high in sense of production.
Trump cannot do anything with the oil production in the US because that is decided by the corporations and the investors. They want quick cash, so they want to see more investments into the oil development. But what Trump can do is with the LNG export, because Biden, he held back on the approvals of new export licenses, but now Trump will let that flow. And the market really need more LNG. Look at Europe, that doesn't have gas from Russia anymore. So that is very important for the gas markets.
How do you look at the recent tariffs? And even as they would not have a direct impact on crude as per se, do you see an indirect impact and a big one at that?
Of course, you know, if you don't open up for free trade in the world, you see less GDP growth for the world. So and oil is very correlated with GDP growth. So we will definitely see a calming of the oil demand if the global economy is being hurt by this trade. But let us hope that these tariffs is just a kind of negotiation weapon to get in a very strong position. And that's a little typical Trump, isn't it?
Yes, that seems to be the case right now. You know, last year, all of the last year was about Chinese demand not picking up. What is the theme that you see playing for 2025?
On the demand side, India is one of the countries with very stable demand growth going forward, despite the electrification of the two-wheelers that we see here in Delhi now. It's amazing to hear these silent two-wheelers all around. And that moderates the oil demand growth in India, but we think it will grow at least by 1 million barrels from the present levels of around 5 million barrels to something like 6 million barrels or a little more 5 years from now.
You know, the Minister Puri keeps saying all the time that, you know, initially, perhaps a decade back, we would import only from 4 or 5 sources. But right now, there are perhaps 30 countries that India seems to be importing oil from. It clearly is positive the way the markets are moving right now.
Yes, we have seen a lot of countries outside OPEC that has increased their oil production. Guyana is an excellent example, also Brazil. So there is a diversification of the oil supplies in the world, and that is maybe a sign that OPEC might lose a little power. And also US oil production is growing, despite this investor attitude of holding back investments.
With the way the markets are changing, and while we do understand that OPEC and allies don't always agree or get along on various things, would this change a lot of internal systems within the OPEC itself?
It's true, OPEC countries are just as different as any other countries in the world. So, but the oil growth is coming from the Middle East countries, Saudi Arabia and Emirates, and they have the true power in OPEC. So I think they will be able to act as an organization, despite these very diverse political views that you see inside OPEC.
All right, those are views coming in on the global energy markets. We'll take a break on that note. Thank you very much for being with us on this edition of Halftime Report. Business Lunch takes the action forward.